activities and athletics, we've talked about the curriculum. But what makes Madison, going back to that, it's more of just a school, it is a community. And in order for it to be a community, it takes a team effort, it takes a community effort. We have a student services department, and some people will call it the counseling department. We are a full service department. There are 8 counselors that you'll see up here. You'll see they're broken down by alphabet. So again, you can go on and view the slide. But as we come to some of the middle schools, the middle school students will meet those counselors. And as they come to Madison, what you need to understand, in high school, you will keep the same counselor for all 4 years. And we do have one of our wonderful counselors here. Miss Robars is right over here. So anyone at the end of the alphabet, from S, T, N to Z, this will be your counselor for the next 4 years. All right. In addition to that, let's see here. Okay. So going into, the counselors are going to stick with the students for all 4 years. And they cover a wide variety of things. They're the ones that will do the academic advising every year with the student. They will do college and career lessons with the student. But they are also here to help the students. So if you have, if you're a student or as a student, if you have any questions, the way I've always viewed the school counselor role, I was a school counselor here for too many years to mention. The way I viewed my role, it was almost like a utility person. There was nothing you couldn't go to the school counselor about. We may not always have all the answers, but we absolutely can direct you to the right place and to help you get those answers. So I believe it's essential that freshman year, try and get to know your school counselor so that every year going forward, they can be more and more an integral part of your high school tenure. Okay, a couple of things that are really different about Madison or about high school are block scheduling. Now I know some of the middle schools have moved towards block scheduling, so this might not be too different. But for those of you who are new to the concept, basically it means that your schedule will rotate on and off. You'll have a red day and a black day. Some people will call them odd day, even day. You'll look up there, red day will go 1, 3, 5, 7, black day 2, 3, 4, 6. You'll notice the third period is what we call our embedded period. So that one is a shorter period and meets each day. The other classes are an hour-and-a-half long classes. So do not expect the teachers to stand there for 90 minutes lecturing at you. It's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to cover material, you're going to possibly review homework, you're going to learn new material, and then you're going to work on it. So there are going to be different segments of each class. So it's going to be, for some of you who are coming from a schedule where you had every class every day, and it was kind of just, all right, 40 minutes in, 40 minutes out. This is going to be different. And I hope for you that it's a positive change. All right, so a couple of things, again, about making it different in high school, is this is really where we want you to start transitioning to becoming your own student. Parents, we're not trying to push you to the side, but trust me, some of your students need to gain some of that independence. They need to become responsible for their own work, for their own materials, having those conversations with the with the teachers. So if they have questions, and I understand sometimes the parents, you'll want to help and you'll want to reach out for the teachers. But please, and we're not saying that you can't, but please try and encourage your student to do it first. Ask them, have you gone to talk to the teacher? What did the teacher say when you went to talk to them? Well, I didn't. Well, let's try that first. So the more we can encourage the students to become their own advocates and independent learners, the more they will grow and experience throughout their 4 years of high school. Okay, so going back to the academic side, I think you heard a little bit from each teacher, from each of the department chairs. Here is my philosophy, and it's sort of the philosophy of the counseling department, because we really do the majority of the academic advising. Slow and grow. I would rather have someone come in, maybe not bite off more than they can chew, be successful, allow themselves to get involved in things, have time for themselves, and kind of get an understanding of what they can handle, and then grow from there. I'll be honest, in this community, far too often we see students, they come in, they take everything they can, and they burn out. And we don't want that. We're seeing too much of that. So we want to encourage you, the students, we want you to challenge yourself, absolutely. But we want balance. Mr. Kenny was up here talking about all the different activities. And I'm not saying you have to go join every single club and every single sport and forget about academics. Absolutely not. But there should be balance. If your coursework is taking up so much time that you're not going to bed until midnight or later, that's too much. If your coursework is preventing you from doing anything for fun on the weekends, that's too much. If your coursework is preventing you from being in a club or a sport or anything that you used to like to do, again, we really want to encourage balance. What Mr. Romeo said was absolutely true. I've never seen someone get denied from a certain college because they didn't choose that one honors class freshman year. But I have seen people get rejected because they took too much and ended up with really poor grades freshman year. So balance, and kind of keeping things in perspective. When you're looking at the electives, the electives should be something that they want to do. Students, don't start micromanaging your electives and say, oh, well, this college may want this. No. Freshman year, look at something that you may be interested in. Look at something that may have a track afterwards, in the sense of you want to get involved in something, but you can see there are upper level classes afterwards, so you can continue doing it. If you do something freshman year and you don't like it, guess what? You have another elective, more elective sophomore year, even more junior and senior year. So there are plenty of time to take as many electives as possible. We just did a college night for our juniors with panels from 6 different schools, and one of the things they said, the biggest myth, was that, they want to see that continuity of a certain elective all 4 years. They don't care. If you're interested in band and that's what you're doing, great, continue with it. But don't continue with something just because you think you have to. If you don't like it, it is your elective. You should enjoy it. Okay, so the transition from 8th grade for the students, here are some ideas. 1, make a summer reading list. I want you to enjoy yourself over the summer, but please, continue reading, continue doing things that are intellectually engaging. Because if you literally walk out of 8th grade and you don't pick up a book over the summer, high schools, they're not going to sit there and say, all right, let's take the first 3 weeks to get you going again. They're going to get started right from the get-go. So if you read over the summer, it will help you immensely. So making that commitment to your academics. And this is where it goes back to that independence. We want you to become independent learners. We want you to become self-sufficient and responsible people, as you grow through your 4 years. So if you're struggling, and some of you, I hate to tell you this, some of you have breezed through school so far. Fantastic. At some point in time, you will be sitting in a class where you don't just get it. You're actually going to have to work for it. And you need to be prepared for that and know how, and have an understanding of how you're going to respond to that adversity, that first low grade. You shouldn't go running to the hills and I've got to get out of this class. Absolutely not. Because most likely that's not going to be able to happen. I want you to know that if you go into that class, you say, you know what, if I struggle, I'm going to commit to this. What am I going to do differently? I'm going to go seek out help from the teacher. I'm going to get a study group with friends. I'm going to try and get that extra information and do things differently from how I've just always done them in the past. Parents, make school a family priority. Talk to your child about how school is going. It doesn't mean priority as in they walk in the door and you have to know every single assignment or every single thing that happened. But make it something that you are aware of and that continues to be something that you can peacefully discuss at the dinner table or at other times. It doesn't have to be the only thing you discuss, but it should be something that you are in tune with how your child is doing in school. And there'll be times when your child will not tell you. I promise you that. Right now they may still be talking to you freely, but they are becoming teenagers and they will start keeping things to themselves. This is where the more communication you have with your child, the better the experience will be for everybody in the family. Try and be here. We want you, the parents, we want you to be here. We want you to come to events. There are ample opportunities throughout the year, whether it's clubs that are doing presentations, whether it's plays, performances, athletic events, honor societies. This building is always open and this building is always active. PTSA, cannot stress strong enough, get involved with the PTSA. The more you come to the building, whether it's volunteering or showing up for events, the more comfortable you're going to be with the building, the more in tune you're going to be, going back to that first point of understanding how things are going for your students. Okay, so this is really referring to supporting that effort and learning. All right, I'm getting the cue. We're supporting that effort and learning. It's not always about the grades. And freshman year, you need to understand it. There are 600 people, maybe there are 200 students in here. We're going to have a freshman class of about 550. I promise you, well, I don't want to promise, but I can guarantee you that they're not all going to walk in here and immediately be successful. And some of them are students who have always been successful. And they're going to come in and stumble a little bit. Talk about that. Have that conversation during the summer. Literally sit there and say, you know what? I believe you're going to do really well. But what if you go in and it's a lot harder than you expected? Now, I'm not trying to cause them stress going in and making them fearful, but I think it's important for them to understand that if they stumble, that you're going to support them and help them with it. And even if it looks like they didn't do what they should have done, understand that they're going to make mistakes. But how you approach that, especially as a family and parents, will be essential. Because if they know they have your support, even if they stumble, then they will be a lot more likely to be confident moving forward, being willing to take a risk, and being willing to put themselves out there, knowing that they've got your support in that. Okay, there are a couple things I want to go over just real quickly. We've got some summer programs here, opportunities. Well, we started about 5 years ago, something called the Bridges program. If you're coming from Thoreau, it's similar to Excellence in Action. We get about 200 students of the freshman class that come in over the summer. We have 2 different weeks, so you don't go to both weeks. You choose one or the other. The first week is basically the week before athletics start, and that second week is the week athletics start. So if you're in band, football, any type of, anything that's going on that's starting, track, cross country, anything that's starting over the summer, you will want to do the first week. There is a fee, it's $100, but it's 5 days. We have faculty that teach it. They come in for 3 hours a day, and it's a really great program. Now, it's not remediation, and it's not to get your kid into college. What it is our expectation is at the end of that week, your child feels a lot more comfortable in this building. And when they walk in the first day of school, they're going to know some faculty, and they're going to know their way around the building, and they're going to be a lot more at ease. If they cannot do that, flight school is something where we bring in the entire 8th grade class, or try to. That is open for everyone. The date tentatively is August 16th. And that one, as opposed to just faculty, we get about 50 to 60 upperclassmen who really run the sessions, take them on tours, and do sort of a 3-hour orientation with them. So, mark those dates, definitely, if you're planning your summer, making your summer plans. All right, so finally, keep in touch with us, and what I mean by that is follow, whether it's Twitter. We do a great job, I think we do a great job of posting a lot of different things and results and upcoming events on Twitter. Make sure you're attached to the Keep in Touch. That will get you all the direct emails from Madison. Make sure you'll find out what Family Connection and Naviance are. If you're not familiar with what they are, information will go out in the beginning of 9th grade. Make sure your email is in that. That's information that comes out from our Career Center. And then Mad Memos, you'll get that through our PTSA. Again, I'm going to conclude with this. Parents, please get involved. As I always tell the students, I'll tell you this, and then I'll let you go. This building is simply brick, mortar, windows, chairs, desks. What makes it a school are the people in the school and the people in the community. I've been here 16 years, and I absolutely love it here. And I want, I look out at every freshman group, and I go, I want you guys to come in and become a part of this. So with that, I think my time is up. Before everyone gets up,